This video is all about listening to diesel sounds from the new ESU V decoders in a variety of locomotives that have arrived on the Burlington Northern Railroad here. This is your host, Burr Stewart, and today I wanted to just let you get a chance to listen to some of the diesels that have recently come on, and to use some new microphone that I got, which is a stereo headset microphone that I thought I'd try out. And I'll leave it to you to see if you can tell the difference. But you should notice when you're listening to this video some diesel sounds that go from left to right and right to left, as well as some very complex interactions between multiple unit diesels that have slightly different frequencies. So with all that said, we're starting out with the new ScaleTrains SDL39's that were purchased by the Milwaukee Road. And these are beautiful engines. As you know from an earlier video that I did, I had just onboarded it in such a hurry that I screwed up the noise settings and the prime mover sound was not coming on. But as you can see, I was able to fix that eventually, and now you can hear the prime mover spooling up very nicely. So it looks like I had to reach in there and flip a switch. This is reality model railroading, so sometimes we make mistakes on air. These new locomotives are lit up like a Christmas tree. Now you can get a sense of the stereo effect while these engines move past us. I'm mainly hearing that annoying bell, so we'll turn that off and get a better sense. Each of these stereo microphones are in one of my ears. So when I turn my head, it changes what you hear, and you may notice that in the rest of this video occasionally. The stereo microphone I'm using is a Sennheiser Ambeo smart headset, and I'll put the title in the description below. You can see I just put it around my ears, and then you plug it into your phone that you take the video with. And it creates stereo audio in just the same way that you experience it. So let's get back to the action. We were just moving these three Milwaukee SDL39's out of the way. I wanted to show you a couple of other locomotive consists. So I just parked these three in a sidetrack that we sometimes use for Milwaukee locomotives. You may recall I had some F units parked here in an earlier video. We'll park these engines in on the spur and then demonstrate the shutdown sequence, which I just love. Those gaudy green clips are on the car cards for all the trains that are in the Tacoma staging tracks. I guess I could have moved them, but they sure look ugly. But the sound is beautiful. Alright, for our next demonstration, we'll pick on these beautiful SP&S RS3's from Bowser, again with the ESU V decoders. I'm holding up the throttle just so you can see what I'm doing to control these engines. Pressing F8 starts the sound up. There you can see the white cable leading to my microphones in my ears. When these engines move by, see if you can hear the interaction between the three engines, each with a different frequency of their crankshaft rotation. This effect is created by playing around with the values in CV 261.1 and 262.1. It's similar to a setting in tsunami decoders called pitch shift. Nice how that brake squeal comes on by itself. We'll just pull into the engine house and then we can demonstrate one other group of engines. In case you're wondering, I have the master volume CV63 set to 40. It's much louder than that when it comes from the factory. Now we get to hear another shutdown sequence. Wild, isn't it? Now what you've been waiting for, the SD45's. We'll just move them a few hundred feet down the track. I know it's true that the Penn Central SD45's didn't make it out to Seattle because there were apparently some incompatibility issues with them. But the Erie Lackawanna locomotives did, and I grew up in Providence, Rhode Island during the PC era, so I had to have one of these. It's not the first time you've seen a lack of restraint on this layout. To my ear, that's a pretty good sound. And a very convincing horn. As you've seen in my previous videos, I'm slowly learning to turn the bell off sooner. Sounds like the air compressors come on. Now we'll do one final shutdown sequence. Clumsy me. Before we go, let's just take one closer look at these beautiful SD45's from ScaleTrains. I have a lot more weathering to do on them, but they sure look good. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this excursion into the world of HO scale diesel soundscapes, and you'll look at the other videos on my channel that have more detailed operational interest. So for the moment, this is Burr Stewart wishing you much fun with trains.